Welcome to The Explainer. So, have you ever been in one of those meetings where a key person just says nothing and you're left sitting there wondering, are they unprepared? Are they not interested? Or is something else going on entirely? Well, today we're going to decode the invisible cultural rules that explain mysteries just like this, and it might just change how you see the world.
Okay, let's dive right in with a story. So, picture this. You're in a super high stakes business meeting in Paris. You got this brilliant expert from China, a guy named Bo Chen, who is there to give his crucial input. But for hours, as everyone else is talking, interrupting, brainstorming, he just sits there in complete silence. What is going on?
Believe it or not, this one piece of advice, something Bo Chen's mother told him as a kid, is the key to this whole mystery. See, it was never about his personality. It was about a deeply held cultural belief about what it means to be a good listener and, a respectful team member. I mean, just imagine the pressure in that room. You're the one running the meeting. You know for a fact that Bo Chen has pages of notes, that he has critical insights. But as the conversation just barrels forward, he never jumps in. The clock is ticking, you're getting absolutely nothing from your main expert, and the entire project is at risk.
It's just so easy to jump to conclusions, right? Oh, he must be shy. Or maybe his English isn't that strong. But as author Erin Meyer found out, those assumptions are almost always wrong. The real answer is buried in this invisible cultural programming that shapes how we act without us even knowing it.
And this really gets to the heart of the matter. We need a way to actually see these hidden dynamics. Instead of just looking at people and judging their personalities, we need some kind of framework to understand the cultural world that they're coming from. And that's exactly what the Culture Map is. It's a tool that Erin Meyer developed to help us literally see and navigate these cultural differences. It shows us that what we might think is just a weird personality quirk is actually a powerful cultural norm playing out right in front of us. So one of the most important scales on this map is all about communication. It runs from what we call low context to high context. Now, in low context cultures, think the US, Germany, Australia, good communication is explicit. It's clear, it's simple, you say what you mean. But in high context cultures, like Japan or China, a huge part of the message is implied. It's not just about what's said, but how it's said, and maybe even more important, what isn't said. This phrase right here just captures it perfectly. Being a KY person in Japan, someone who literally cannot read the air is a pretty big social blunder. It means you're not a good listener. And that brings us right back to Bo Chen. He was patiently waiting for a natural pause, a moment of silence to show respect. But in a fast-paced Western meeting, that pause never came. He wasn't being passive. He was trying to read the air. And culture doesn't just shape how we talk, it completely changes our idea of what a good leader is. I mean, just look at this. In a country like Sweden, employees want a boss who is more of a facilitator. But in Spain, they expect the boss to have the answers. And it's not that one is right and one is wrong, it's just a totally profound difference in what people expect from their leaders. All right, let's switch gears and apply this to another really critical area, trust. I mean, how do we build it? Well, it turns out the answer really depends on whether you come from a culture that trusts from the head or one that trusts from the heart. So in a lot of cultures, like the US or Germany, trust is built cognitively. We call this trust from the head. It's all about the task. You do good work, you're reliable, you hit your deadlines, and I trust you. Simple. Your professional performance is what builds that relationship. But in so many other parts of the world, places like Brazil, Nigeria, India, trust is affective. It's trust from the heart. It's all about the relationship. It's built over shared meals, late-night drinks, actually getting to know someone as a person. The business deal only happens after you've made that personal connection. And this leads to this fantastic metaphor, the peach versus the coconut. Peach cultures are really friendly and soft on the outside. They share personal info pretty easily, but getting past that soft exterior to the hard pit, their private self, that can take a really long time. Coconut cultures are the total opposite. They're tough and reserved on the outside, but once you manage to break through that hard shell, you often find this incredibly deep and loyal friendship inside. And this quote from a German guy, a classic, coconut, who was living in Brazil, just nails the culture clash. In a peach culture like Brazil's, that surface-level friendliness, those casual invitations for coffee, they're just signs of politeness. They aren't necessarily an invitation into someone's inner circle. And for the German coconut, that can feel really superficial and just deeply confusing.
So we've looked at communication, we've looked at leadership, we've looked at trust. But after seeing all these differences in other people, maybe the most important question isn't about them at all. Maybe it's about us. There's this simple little story that gets right to the heart of the single biggest challenge in understanding culture. It starts with an older fish who's swimming along, and he passes two younger fish. And there it is, the punchline. Because the most obvious all-encompassing thing in our environment is often the one thing we can't see. For the fish, it's water. For us, it's our own culture. This right here is the ultimate takeaway. We are all swimming in our own cultural water. And before you can effectively understand and navigate another culture, you first have to become aware of your own. You have to learn to see the water that you're swimming in, the assumptions you make, the way you talk, the way you build trust, and realize that it's just one way of doing things. So this isn't really the end of the journey, it's the beginning. The next time you're in a confusing situation with someone from a different background, don't just ask what's wrong with them. Stop for a second and first ask yourself this one simple but powerful question. What does your water look like?